In the previous movie, I showed you how to use block quotes and the site tag to display this nice looking block quote inside the Simone theme. But there's another feature in the Simone theme that allows you to create what's known as pull quotes. You've probably seen them in newspapers and older books, where a quote has been pulled out of the content and shifted kind of out of the frame to the left or right, and then the text is wrapping around it. And you can also do this inside the Simone theme by adding a tiny little bit of HTML to your block quotes. So I'm going to go back to edit my post. Here I'm going to go to the text editor. So you have the visual editor, but I want the text editor. And I need to find the block quote I want to shift. So I'm going to scroll down here until I find that block quote I worked with previously. It's right down here. So here we have block quote, a person who uses WordPress to host, etc. What I'm going to do now is apply the class align left or align right. Now, if you've worked with WordPress before, you know that the classes align left and align right are used by images so that you can shift an image to the left or right and then have the text flow around it. And we're going to use those exact same classes to do the same thing with block quotes. So inside the block quote tag, I'm going to add class equals and then align left if I wanted to align left, or align right if I wanted to align right. Now I'm simply going to update my post. And then I'll click on the view post and open it in a separate tab so that we can look at it right away. As I scroll down, you'll see here we have the regular block quote, and then we get to the one that's now been aligned left. And you see it's actually shifted to the left-hand side of the screen. It's broken out of the main frame. So you see there's space here above and below. So this is now a proper pull quote. And it's responsive. So if we make the screen smaller, it pops into the content. And if we make the screen even smaller than that, eventually it'll take up the full width of the screen. So the alignment only works on larger screens. And if you have a screen that's wide enough, then it'll actually pop out of the content. The same exact thing happens if you apply the align right class. It'll align to the right, and if the window is wide enough, meaning even wider than what you see here, then the block quote will actually be pulled out of the frame and shift outside here to become a proper pull quote to the right-hand side. These are fully responsive features, so depending on the width of the screen that the visitor is using, they'll display differently and will be accommodated in such a way that it's easy to understand the content and it doesn't make any kind of jarring breaks of the flow of the main content itself. So here I want you to experiment with these alignment features and see how they work for your specific content. And as you'll see in the next movie, this alignment feature also works for images within your content.